Hello and welcome. My name is Shimona. Today I'm here to talk to you about Ethereal Echoes of Yore, a brand new MMORPG exploration sandbox, open world, hardcore, PvP, survival, add all the other keywords you want to add into there, that has just released a day and a half ago, May 1st, 2023, by a developer studio, Jellyberry Studios. Uh, little bit of information about them. It is a four-man studio, so this is a indie MMORPG. Blah, 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 all that. My understanding is they are a team of two developers and two. I don't want to say they're both artists, but I believe they work on assets and art. Uh, Two developers and two non-developers, and they have brought this to us yesterday. I wanted to kind of, because I've been playing it for about the day and a half, and I've been pretty active in the Discord, reading everything that's kind of been coming up. I wanted to update anybody who might be interested in this game as to why it has a 25% positive review score on Steam. Okay, so this game just came out a day and a half ago. It is a free-to-play game with a subscription-based model. Just like old school RuneScape, you have the starting island as the free-to-play area, and then everything after that is pay-to-play. So you can start free-to-play. You probably got about 20 hours worth of content if you were to kind of do everything you can do, work on your professions and stuff like that. Easily 20 hours worth of content, if not more, assuming you're not spending another 10 hours stuck in queue or crashing or getting hard stuck by quest items. But we'll go over that in just a second. So yeah, I mean, you can go take a look at the reviews. They're probably going to go over everything I'm about to go over now, but I'll give you everything that is true to effect, and then I'll go over my experiences, which is also true to effect, and then we'll talk about a little bit more about this game. So to sum it up, Ethyrial is basically, what is that game called? Albion Online with old school RuneScape graphics. As you can see, it's very basic. You're kind of stuck in a grid system, almost like Minecraft. I guess RuneScape, but RuneScape you can run diagonally. You cannot run diagonally in this game. And it's got a lot of very polygon-esque graphics. So it actually looks very nice. It looks very nice. I'm having a lot of fun playing it. I'm very much enjoying it. It is very clunky. It is very weird to play, but my opinion, I enjoy it. Let's head over to the Discord. All right. So this is an announcement they made about 6 hours ago, and there's a couple of big points that happened. First and foremost, it is our #1 priority to refund all of the mistaken double charges that were made for our new subscribers. So basically, this game came out a day and a half ago. Anybody who wanted to play on the non-free-to-play servers had to subscribe. And then about 18 hours after launch at 3 in the morning, maybe not 18, was it 18 hours after launch? It was like 8 hours. 8 hours after launch at like 3 in the morning. Come to find out, somehow they had a technical problem on their end that caused all subscriptions to be charged again. They were pretty upfront about it. I was actually awake at the time, so they sent out the message on Discord pretty much like right as it happened. Obviously, a lot of people playing the game probably aren't a part of the Discord. I'm not sure. I mean, they did post on it about it on Steam. They said that they're gonna, I know $10 is a lot, can be a big deal, especially getting pulled out without a notice. It's one thing to make a decision to do that, another thing to have that money just taken from you without notice. I'm obviously in America, and there's people in different countries, and currency conversion, it can be a very big deal for some people. I I didn't have any red flags about this just because they were very upfront. Obviously, this is something that probably should never happen. And I'm trying to be not copium, even though I might be a little bit. To give you an idea, I was not. This game kind of just came out of nowhere for me. I just pulled it up on Steam one day and I saw it was coming out the next day, and I was like, well, this kind of looks like something I would enjoy, and there you go. So, very, very weird situation. There are some concerns because Steam is super anal about subscriptions and not refunding them. But I think if the developer kind of fesses up and says they did it, I have a little bit more hope. The second thing is they are resetting and wiping all the servers on May 12th. So again, we are a day and a half into launch, and they have already announced that they are going to wipe everything in 10 more days. Not great. Not great for a new game. I mean, it did have a lot of server issues and crashing, some people getting hard stuck. There definitely have been some big problems, but nothing major. I don't know. It's hard to say because I've done a ton of brand new MMO launches, and it's like all the same new MMO launch stuff, all the same problems. I mean, you've got a dev team of 2 people. Like, if you didn't think some funky stuff was going to happen, you're delusional. Or maybe delusional is too harsh. I mean, you're very pleasantly minded. I wish I could think like you. But despite everything that happened, I felt like they were pretty quick to fix some pretty big issues, at least that I had experienced. There were some things that I'm sure were out of their hands, and I'm hoping is the reason why we have this fresh wipe. And again, the biggest problem they had throughout this whole time is their server capacity. So the servers have, for the most part, been very smooth. There's not been any lag, there's not been any rubber banding, but there have been very long queue times. Looking at the Steam analytics, it shows that there's been like a max population of like 2,000 people have played it. And from what I've heard, there were a lot of people kind of paired and, re-say is that they had claimed that 5,000 people could play on a server. So the fact that there's only 2,000 people across like 16 servers and we're having like over an hour queue times for one server, it's kind of crazy. So insane queue times coupled with the fact that, and I can't show it now because ever since they made this announcement and the fact that it's like 2 a.m, there just aren't any queue times. When you go to log in and you hit a queue, all it says is in queue. There's no countdown, there's no timer, there's no how many people are ahead of you, there's no nothing. It just says in queue. So people are not patient, especially for a game that they got for free. They're going to launch it up. They're going to wait like 5 minutes. They're going to be like, screw this. I'm going to go play Habba Hotel. And they're going to go leave a bad review. It's, I mean, you're launching an MMO, they've done tests. They've done alpha, beta tests. I scrolled up on these announcements. Again, I've just joined this server like a day and a half ago. So all this is new to me. This goes back to like 2018. They've been working on the game. They've had people playing the game. So, an MMO of this size with such a small development team, I'm surprised I was able to play it all, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, that's kind of what happened. If we scroll up, it's just kind of all this spread out over the past couple of days. My experience, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't too bad. The people on the Discord were very friendly. They have a support ticket system on here where you can report issues, and then moderators will review everything. Anything that I guess they deem as an actual problem, they'll forward to the devs and they'll put in known issues. And I've had many of the problems I had fixed through this process, and even sometimes rather quickly. When I first joined the game, I remember the first thing that was happening is I kept getting kicked due to some kind of like anti-cheat. It was like your client is communicating with the server too quickly, and then it kept kicking me. So I got kicked like 3 times in the first hour of playing. They released some kind of update. I don't know if, now that I'm thinking back on it, they probably just got rid of their anti-cheat. But I no longer have had that problem since. I have heard other people complain about it, and I think it's a low, I think it's a low latency issue. Either low latency or you have packet loss. There's some kind of issue causing it, but I don't think they completely disabled it because I've heard other people complain about it, but whatever they did, it fixed my issue. Other than that, they had a pretty game-breaking bug, and let me go ahead and hop over to the game because I can show this to you easier. So this is my character. You can kind of see this is kind of your view. You can only look northwest, south, and east. You move WASD. It's a very grid-based system. Yeah. But if we come here to our character, you see how we have a quest storage. And would you look at that, I don't have any items in my quest storage because this game has a game-breaking bug where if the server crashes or the server restarts while you're online, it will delete all of your quest items. So with the server being restart within 1 hour of launching, and many times throughout the day, a lot of people's items got deleted. And this wouldn't be so bad if you could simply just go back to the quest NPCs and re-pick up the missing item, but they had not had that programmed in for like any of the quests. They did fix it rather quickly for some, but this was a problem. And again, they still haven't fixed the server restart, server crash, deleting items. As you can see, all they did is they added the ability to go back to certain NPCs and pick those items back up. So I'm currently on a quest, and again, this is the day after they fixed the first issues. I'm on another quest in the new zone that pretty much needs me to bring an item here and do this. I ran all the way over here, which takes quite a while to find out my quest items are gone. I ran all the way back to the guy to find out he could not give me that item, and I just ran back, and here I am. So very annoying bug. It kind of locks your character out. As you can see, this is my one and only quest. This is like some random side quest, but it's my main quest that is going to unlock abilities for my character. So by not being able to do this quest, I could go grind, I could go craft, I could go do stuff, but I'm not going to get new skills. You know, this quest line is the stuff that gives you new skills. So it's kind of annoying to be locked out of. Again, not a big deal. If I was on a PvP server, it would be more annoying, but I'm not, so it's fine. Yeah, so other than that, that was the main issue I had. And again, they fixed that like within 18 hours. So at least the first area. Again, this one is probably about 36 hours after launch. It's pretty much the same exact quest line, just in the new zone. And they just have to make the same fix. Obviously, not having your quest items delete on a server restart would be nice not to happen, but at least they know how an easy way to fix it is just have the NPCs give you back those items if you don't have them. You know, simple fix. Something a 2-man dev team can do. Other than that, those were really the only problems I had. Another problem I had was they have dungeon instances, and one of the dungeon instance I went into was empty. No mobs spawned. A lot of the assets never spawned. But again, that happened like last night, and then they fixed it in the morning. So by the time I got back up, it was already fixed. So a lot of the problems I ran into were fixed rather quickly. The only problem really is a server queue, but again, with them announcing that they're going to wipe all servers in 10 days, that fixed that issue as well. For now, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, other than that, it's a pretty cool game. Again, this is let me go over a couple complaints that this game has. Uh, it's a very odd game. You know, you move in a weird pattern. Little pro tip for any of you guys want to try out: you can left click on the mini map and it will auto run you, if it can, to wherever you left clicked. I did not know about this, but this is massive for having to run around a lot. But one of the big complaints is, so this is the new area. You start out in like a starting hub, and then from the starting hub you go to a starting island, and that island is pretty massive. You probably got about 20 hours worth of content in that island, assuming you kind of do everything, professions and all that kind of stuff. You've easily got over 20 hours. And that is all free to play, so you don't have to spend any money. And I would say that's probably about 90% of the game's content is on that island, in terms of like quests, skilling, learning everything. Once you get off that island, you get here, it seems like everything is just pretty much a super grind fest, and probably meant to be more focused on PvP. There are some like higher level materials. There's probably some dungeons. I haven't done much exploring. To give you an example, and this is the biggest complaint everybody says, that the mainland is barren. Barren, no content, Dan's game, all that kind of stuff. I came in on the ship here. I ran through the town. I went through every house. I talked to every NPC. Not every, because there are like hundreds of NPCs. A lot of them are just random guards, random civilians. But anybody that looked unique, I tried to talk to. Nobody would do anything, give me any quests. There were a couple merchants. Again, they were just basic merchants, the same stuff we had in the starter island. They just had slightly better stuff to sell, because again, we're a higher level zone. There was nothing until I got here. This is like the quest hub that had one quest for me, that sent me all the way over here. That's what I've been working on. And there was one person here next to a bounty board that gave me a quest to find their lost parents. Other than that, there is no meaningful quest or unique or anything in any of these houses, any of these areas. Even here, this is like a little farm area, has a couple merchants. That's it. Even here, this is one of the quest areas that sent me. This one literally only has 2 people. It has a trading post person, and I forgot what this guy is, but they don't do anything for you. The trading post lets you like send items across something. I'm not really too sure. And yeah, so there are some new monsters like here, and also here where this quest is, there's some new monsters, but that is literally it. There are like a ton of NPCs, there's a ton of monsters. Another thing that's a problem is none of the monsters on the mainland give full XP. So the same wolves that are like level 3 on the starter island that give like 8 XP a kill will only give 2 XP here. These higher level monsters, even these ones here, give like 2 XP a kill as well. I think these give like 8. But if you killed the same kind of monster that you killed here on the starting island, it's like the XP rates are cut down by like 5 or like 10. I mean, it's significant. But I haven't, as you can see, I haven't really explored too much. I plan on doing more. I was kind of hoping I would be able to keep questing. I might take a little break and try out other characters and kind of work on my progression. But yeah, the biggest complaint is it's like extremely barren. There's not much worth the grind. And it's, you know, it's fair. I don't really know how this game's going to work with PvP. Again, this is a big open world sandbox. So currently at release, they did not release player-owned housing or clan building. They said they were going to release that a week after launch, and their concerns was they didn't want people to kind of bug abuse and lock those things in by just being the fastest. They wanted to give everybody time, about a week, to kind of build yourself up, get enough resources, and then they were going to release all that information. Basically, they wanted to keep it a secret. They didn't want to just have like a group of like 10 people zerg and just get the best stuff before anybody else really even had a chance, which is nice. I think that's fair. But without that, I think none of this space makes sense, and I think that's what a lot of people are understanding. Like, yes, it's weird that all of this stuff is just empty space. There's nothing, but like, you can imagine once you have like I don't want to say 1,000, you have like 100 people come through, you're gonna have like little camps all along this road. You're gonna have little camps like right here, like, you know, people are gonna load in and they're just gonna take the first area they can and just start building. Again, I don't know how it works if it's like literally you have to buy plots. I think you have to pay taxes. There's like a whole thing about it, but it's interesting. I think there's a lot of potential. I think if you kind of like role playing, I think the PvP would be kind of interesting if you had a group of friends, if you're like a sociable person. I think the game has a lot of potential. I 100% think if you want to try it out, the free-to-play experience is endless value. I think the game is unique enough and pleasant enough that I would recommend anybody just playing it, especially because it's free. And, you know, if you decide you want to do more, you can pay more, but you don't have to, because I think you play the tutorial island, that whole area, and you probably have experienced like 90% of the game. Even on like a PvP server, I'm sure. So, I think that's about it. I kind of wanted to talk about, again, my opinion of the game is pretty good, especially for a two-man studio. They had their problems, but, you know, they didn't seem anything malicious. Everything seems fine. And I hate to say it, the more I think about it, I think them making this free-to-play model probably screwed them pretty hard. Just because the biggest problem has been the server issues. That has been the biggest problem. You know, if it wasn't for server issues, at least people could play the game, especially the ones who wanted to get invested into it. But I think it's good for people who just want to try it out. And again, I think it's bad as well because this starter island is so densely packed and so much content, quests, like stuff to do, that I think people who played through that and then bought a subscription based off of that would be very disappointed. I do think they would be very disappointed. So, but again, I understand, you know, if you want to develop a game, you need, you know, a source of income. You know, selling the game for $20 to like 100 people or 200 people versus, you know, making it free to play and then charging $10 a month to anybody who wants to play, who could be like 500 people. You know, I understand the logic, but it kind of sucks to see. Maybe they should have done you can't really do an early start with a game like this because it's a PvP game. It's an MMO PvP game. You know, the only things that are going to win is either how much time you have to put in or how many people are in your guild. So, I'm not really too sure, but I'm enjoying it. I'm going to be playing it for now. I'm going to be testing out different characters, working up on my speed run, trying to figure out some more mechanics, like what's the best way to do things. So if you want to check it out or tune in more, you know, hit the subscribe button. Check me out over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ShamonaXD, ShamonnaXD. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed. I really hope you guys give it a chance. If you know, again, if you liked anything, just check it out. I mean, it's free. Hopefully with the servers getting wiped, you can hop in, no queues, and just kind of mess around and see what you like. If you guys want to play with me, or I will be playing on the NA East servers. Currently, I'm playing on the NA PvE server. I actually created a Discord for it. We'll kind of see what I figure out over the next couple of days before the new fresh wipe. I may decide to go to the PvP server if there's really zero content after the starting island. but I think it'll be a couple days before we know for sure. So, again, stay tuned, tune in, let me know what you thought. If there's anything I need to change, check the description. Anything I see that needs to be changed, I'll make note of it there. But other than that, I hope this helped you out. I hope you give it a try. All right, have a good one.